What's up, everyone? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today, I thought I'd show you this very short video on updates of the builds that we feature in the channel. Yeah, so it's going to be a very short video. We're not going to build anything today, but I think it'd be interesting to see how they're developing, how they're doing. And if you like one in particular, you can go ahead and click in the previous videos where you can see the construction, like the detailed construction of each and every one of these little builds. Yeah, so this is the one that we did in a very small bottle, and the one that was going to feature a little island, which you can see over there. You can see that the little island is nice and thriving, and that was a moss species that was very interesting to me because it kind of looked like a little palm tree, like a little parasol or something like that, and that's why I decided to use that when I created that little, you can't see very well, but that little island in the middle. You can see that it's thriving. These moss species over here, it kind of resembles like pines in the distance, so that's really neat, really interesting. If we see them from this angle, you can see the foliage actually, which is very cool. So it's a nice little build. It was supposed to resemble like the ocean and a small island in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by other mountains. Yeah, so it's doing quite well. We're gonna push this to the side so we can see the next one, which is this little guy, the Cerisa build. The little plant is doing well, is growing. It kind of lost a couple of leaves in the first couple of weeks. I don't know if it has 2 weeks already. I think so, but it was just a process of adaptation. Whenever you plant anything, a plant, a tree in its new environment, sometimes it goes through a phase of adaptation where you don't see a lot of activity, or you see that it loses a couple of leaves, and that's perfectly normal. You can see that the moss is nice and healthy. That little parasol that we feature in the previous build, in the little island here, we can see that I planted a little tuft there, and it's adapting, it's growing. So yeah, I kind of like this too. I also planted a little cutting there. One of the little branches that was pruned from this little guy was planted there, and we can see it's surviving. So maybe in the future we're gonna have 2 little Cerisa trees in this build. And sometimes what happens is that the water evaporates, and that's what keeps the moss nice and fresh. But it's absolutely no problem. The only thing that we do is that we come in with our trusty water bottle, and we just fill. We fill the container so that the plants can continue to be hydrated and that the moss continues to be sort of mist when the water evaporates. I'm going to do this off camera, but you get the point. The nice little miniature micro fishbowl, it's doing very well. Over here we have I think it was the first Paludarium, Ferrero Rocher Paludarium. And this is quite interesting. A couple of notes on this little guy. You can see that the mosses are there, are thriving. I added that's the interesting thing about this. I added a couple of snails. You can see one of them over there, chomping away. You can see that it likes to eat the biofilm that forms from the fish food. I occasionally drop a couple of flakes here and there so that they can continue to live literally, so that you can see that it's eating that little biofilm that forms because of that. And the interesting thing about these snails is that they terraform this place, like they change the environment, because you can see that the mosses and the plants are now confined to this end of the little Ferrero Rocher box, and the aquatic size the aquatic side of things, it's now much bigger. See that? It's confined over there, and the aquatic size is over here. It's like their domain, their reign, if you will. You can see that I planted a couple of Rotalas, a mini Bucephalandra, Eliocharis that is also planted over here, and you can see that adds a nice little touch. We can also see mini Bucephalandras over here, and of course the different moss species that you can see in the build. Yeah, so this one is also doing very well. I keep this covered, but I guess if you have time on your hands and you don't mind refilling the water that evaporates, you could also keep it without cover. And this is the latest one that we covered in the video, and we can see here that this little Bucephalandra that we have there, it's kind of far, you know, from the camera. You can see my hand there, but look, you can see that it's not doing the best apparently, but once we zoom in, we can see that there are new little leaves emerging. Yeah, because like I said, it's going through a process of adaptation. I really like how it looks. We can see that we planted Bucephalandras, Sagittarius subulata, Eliocharis, and Hydrocotyle. There was another little fern that was growing in one of my terrariums that I also planted here, which I think is going to look very, very interesting. You might see that it's a bit different. You might see that it's a bit different from the finished product in our video, and that's because I added an extra stone at the base so that the moss will be higher up, and therefore we had a water level that was higher. You know, we had more water so the plants could grow. You can see that it's doing nicely. You can see that it's growing very well. The moss is getting there. Some of the rocks, you can see that they get dried up, but with the previous examples, the same thing happens. You know, when the water evaporates, it keeps the moss nice and alive. So it's very good. It's very interesting to see. I got my little container over there where I grow all the moss, and this is, I think, the first one that we work with. Let me just bring it over here so we can see better. And let me see, I think it would be better if I just put it here and remove the cover so we can see. Here we go. I actually pruned it a couple of days ago because it had lots and lots of ferns, but we can see that the moss, same story, right? It's nice and green, nice and interesting. A couple of mold patches here and there, but I attribute that to the lack of fauna, to the lack of springtails and isopods. But with watering and correct lighting, I intend to correct that in the future. So anyway, this was supposed to be a very short video, but the details, you know, they take a lot of time. Another thing that I want to do with this little guy is plant a couple more portions of moss over here so that it can continue to fill in those places where the gardening soil is visible. Yeah, but overall it's doing very, very well, so I think this is also a success. And the last one that we can see over here, it's something that I didn't actually film. It's this little micro bottle. You can see one of these bottles in a previous video, but this is a different one. And again, you can see the species that are available to me. That little parasol moss over there is growing nicely. We can also see that I planted, it's very difficult with the glare, but I planted some other species over here. And, you know, It's just a matter of waiting so it grows in and it covers the entire surface. This would be like a terrific gift. It's a very, very good gift idea. If you got a friend or family member that really likes plants, they would absolutely love this, or any of the builds that we featured in the channel. Anyway, so more things coming in the channel. I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments, doubts, questions, anything, drop them down below. Subscribe so you can see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.